my biggest thing, I really, admire, the restaurant, and I just wanted to know how you got into the industry, and what was your keys to success, because I have my aspirations, to venture off and maybe one day have a food truck.
Oh, cool.
So.
Well, let me know on that if we, can figure out a way to get wine attached to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it would be outdoor though.
We can talk about it. I knew nothing about running a restaurant, and frankly, when I started the Knitting Factory way back when, I didn't really know anything about the music. I running a club, a live music place. We served beer and wine there, and we actually made a little hummus that was pretty bad, not as good as our hummus now. This is such a different animal than the first club thing I did, but I did that for 15 years. I slept in the back for 2 years without having an apartment. So I paid my dues on that, but that taught me a lot, and so I said it over the holidays, as my message, like, it's good to make mistakes as long as you learn from them, and I made a lot of them. And when we started City Winery, the playbook certainly was advanced from that 15, 16-year experience I had with the Knitting Factory, knew we needed good food to complement wine consumption, but wine is where the margins were. It's worse margins in the restaurant space. And I wasn't going to do just a regular restaurant. And then I really wanted to do a winery, but I was too nervous and chicken to just do a pure urban winery either.
Right.
So I kind of went to what I knew best, which was putting on a show, and figured, all right, I can get 300, people into the room, to see a great show. Now, what can we serve them that's going to, work well? And we're a winery, so we obviously want to be selling them some of our wine. And then on the food side, with Andreas, who was the chef here in the beginning,
yes,
we sat and we went out to eat a bunch, and like, what works? When we went primitive, really. We were like old, Mediterranean styled foods, Greek and Italian and Spanish and French, all the stuff around the Mediterranean, even Israeli, like. What makes you want to drink a lot of wine with those foods is a lot of salt,
yes,
and like cheese and bread. So like, pizza, when we came up with our flatbreads, was so simple. It's just bread and cheese, really, with a few other things, bunch of salt, because that works really well to drink. So we went simple in that way, but it was the trick here was obviously having people come in the door to see a show. We're growing now fast, which is great.
Yeah.
And I feel relieved that New York worked and then Chicago worked. And so now we're, we still had some growing pains with Napa. That didn't work. And Nashville's requiring some effort, and every opening is hard. But the model works, and so I feel more relieved than anything else, really.
Absolutely.
And now we just gotta leverage that success and grow.